the draft has shifted because Calamity has always banned Grumpjaw in the challenge battle, so they're gonna keep that open and go ahead and take away the Kestrel and deny it from Mousesports here. So Kestrel seems like a huge priority now in EU as a carry. She's kind of taking the place of Vox, it looks like. So now Mousesports needs to decide to ban Lyra, Gray, or Grace here, or they can just ban a carrier like Vox and leave both healers open so that they can then match against the Grace or Lyra pick of Calamity here. So I think, oh, they're just go ahead straight away, take away that crew. We're like, hey, we don't want to deal with it.
Not having any of it right
However,
now.
I don't like that ban because if you're on B side, it's okay. Like if they pick a crew on A side, then you can pick a Sky or Petal into that and just counter it completely. So I don't know why they would waste the ban on crew on B side here.
I think that's maybe a situation where they're like, you know what, we don't know how to deal with this crawl. We don't want to deal with this crawl. Just get it off the board, get it out of my face.
It also could be a situation where they don't play the Krull themselves.
Yeah.
And you're not comfortable playing a pick that you feel like your opponents can do a lot of work with. You have to ban it away. That's why having a deep hero pool is so important. As it is going to be Vox Idris as the pick and ban for Mousesports.
I kind of wish they banned Baron instead. That does leave Baron open for Calamity. I haven't seen Leon play Baron actually because he likes Idris, he likes Blackfeather, etc. So we'll see if that's going to come out today on the side of Calamity. I think for here they probably will take away the Lyra and actually, wow, they're going to actually deny the Cath and not give it over to Vox. That leaves Lyra open for Mousesports.
They could be looking for a Baron.
Yeah, that's
if
why.
They're going to ban away the Catherine there. Obviously, Baron is still open. It's not going to go over to Mousesports because they already have the Vox selected. So,
hey, man.
Definitely seems to
CP
me
Vox
where
jungle.
they're going to be going.
CP Vox jungle.
Yeah, that's the dream right there. We've seen crazy picks in the Vainglory 8. That's probably not going to be one of them. Blackfeather.
wants to play Baron.
Oh, they take the Blackfeather.
I can believe it.
I like this draft. They take the Blackfeather knowing that Calamity is not going to pick the Lyra, of course, because that's just going to be a throw if they try to weapon power the Grace, as we've seen before. So
the Baron.
Is picked up. So now Mousesports needs to, decide what they're going to do here. So,
all right, well, those are the North American points, but we'll get back on into this draft.
Just in case you were wondering.
So now
you mentioned Von C, and there's like, oh, TSM. Here's how strong they are.
There's Petal, there's Koshka. We see Eon play all those heroes. I think one out of those two, I think we'll probably see that come out here. He has played a Petal successfully into a Blackfeather and just dominated a CP Blackfeather with a Petal. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see it here. But he also can play Koshka, and Koshka with Baron and Grace. That's extremely strong North American meta composition there if we see Calamity pick that up. Other heroes that we've seen him play Scarf, but I don't think Scarf will probably come out here. And yep, Petal's going to come out.
All right.
And man, he has such a success rate against a Blackfeather here. And then most likely Mousesports end this with a Lyra or an Arden, but I think Lyra makes the most sense for them here.
When we saw Aeon's Petal in the challenge battles, he made Petal look overpowered, right? It's one of those where it's
vicious.
Like you don't expect it to be good, or not that you don't expect it to be good, but then when this guy plays it specifically, it's like a totally different hero. He just plays it to perfection. And now Mousesports, well, Lyra is going to be the pick in the end. I was going to ask how you go against the Petal. Like, what does the playstyle have to be right here for Mousesports to play around this Petal, to play around the Baron?
Yeah, they probably won't do this, but a weapon power the Blackfeather and then the CP jungle the Vox. Like, seriously, it would work. It will work. I actually have seen it work. So
I mean, I don't want to say I'm a prophet, but
CP Vox into a Petal is actually really strong because you have so many opportunities to get those resonance bounces and build up your Broken Myth once you get later on into the game. The Munions are going to be in melee no matter what, so you get lots of free resonance bounces. But I don't think they're gonna go that way.
Yeah, they probably won't.
Just because it's such an off kilter.
Yeah. But it would work for them. Yeah. Like Blackfeather can dive in, CP Vox can just then hit Grace or hit Petal, and then Baron would take all the damage.
Obviously, we've got replays right here of Aeon making work happen on this battle. This was one of those beautiful fights that they had during the challenge battles against G2 specifically. We'll see whether they can reenact that here in the Vainglory. It's just about time to get on into this game then. Like, the CP Vox, it's likely not going to be seen, right? It's not something that they're going to have been practicing coming into this one. Is that something that, in this situation, you kind of just have to go for anyway?
You have to. If they do Weapon Vox, CP Black, they're going to lose. Aeon's going to just completely destroy the Blackfeather in jungle, like he's done twice already.
All right, so very confident in Aeon's Petal then. I see how it is. Well, we want to know who you guys at home are confident in as well. Use that hashtag Vainglory8. is going to be a very big game for Mouse right now. They cannot afford to lose these points. And Calamity right now making a statement. This is one of the top 3 teams that they are currently demolishing right now. We'll see if they can keep this going. Let's head on into this game between Calamity Reborn and Mousesports.
Calamity Reborn with the Grace, Baron, and okay, Petal coming out at the end. We know these guys have been playing it, making it work. And on the flip side, I'm looking at this Mouse draft, and I'm like, have they drafted themselves into a corner here, Jackson?
I feel like they might have. Can you hear that?
Can I?
Not, okay, no, maybe not. I'm rubbing my hands together by the mic in excitement. All right, so.
No!
Yeah, so this, I remember we were going through the draft, Humanist and I were chatting in our little, our chat channel outside of the analyst desk, and we were saying, oh, they got Grace, that's bad news for Mousesports. They got Baron too? What's going on here? Yeah, Mouse, this is going to be a rough game, but if they can get ahead, Petal really, what? This is a different invade.
I was going to say, if Rin gets out of this one, he's just a god, but he just hangs around because Apfel doesn't stick around. The dude does secure his back here, and he should be able to get the backs, but Rin holding on to his boots is going to hang around here. Let's see if he can get one of these. He's playing games. the Doom gets one of his backs. Rin hanging around, just getting his basics off. We'll use the boots to get himself out of here at the end. Mouse able to secure all their backs.
Yeah, pretty nice. It could have been obviously better if they'd actually kind of camped. Ren, you don't have boots anymore. This is when things start to get a little hairy for my liking. You get that one? No, okay. Aeon's here, though. They might be able to find some damage if Mouse had committed to a fight there. Anyway, let's return to the previous points. So, if Mouse gets ahead early, then they actually can get an insurmountable lead against Calamity. The way you do this is you apply pressure before Baron has overdrive on jump jets, so that Bright Bulwark really shuts him down. And if Petal falls behind, I think she's one of the heroes in the game that just has a really rough time doing anything when she's not on curve for items and stuff, so it's definitely possible, but I think that Grace patches up a lot of the openings that Mouse would normally have to shut down a Baron and shut down a Petal, and mess with their ability to get to where they need to be. Because I think in the mid game, this is, even with the Baron, who historically we've considered a late game hero, is not something that really Mouse can deal with very well. Petal has too much disruption for the Black Feather, like you were telling me before. If you try and dive in, those Petal Munion Seeds are going to be actually very annoying. On top of that, I think it's very difficult for Vox to find the right targets and also stay safe against Grace, who's going to be great at running disruption, basically. This is, it's really hard. Mouse, jungle is going to be critical, and so far, they're not showing much ability to make that one work. I think that they need to do a 3-man rotation down to the jungle at some point soon.
Well, we'll see if they can execute on any of those strategies that you're talking about there. Feels like they're going to have to do something special. For now, it's just Apfel trying to farm up in the lane. I would expect that he goes for our pretty typical Vox build that we've seen regularly built up with that point. We'll hold that thought. Leon with the double attacks coming out with the jump jets. Rearin jumps in. And this is it's just kind of poking her ass right here. Looks like nobody will be going down at the end of it. But Apfel should be going for our pretty typical Vox build.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's also worth noting, by the way, that you might look at this on the surface and be like, okay, each team has some sustain on their captain, similar kind of playstyle, what have you. It's actually really different because Ren only has the heal at level 6. It does mean that these trades could go very wrong for for Calamity if they're not careful.
Aeon trampolines up towards the lane, but Mouse able to reposition underneath the turret, so they're going to be quite alright. Aeon might have lost a Munion or two, but no problem. He'll just go ahead and respawn those. They found I'm the Doom, though. I'm the Doom taking a whole bunch of damage. How about a Holy Nova from Rin and a First Blood coming through for Calamity Reborn?
Yep, that was way overextension from I'm the Doom. Grace is one of those here that can punish that very effectively. As soon as Aeon gets a Frostburn, he's going to be able to deal with this Black Feather very effectively also. So really, got to keep your eyes out for those kinds of rotations. I'm the Doom needs backup from Just Man to be effective here.
Kind of a game-defining moment right here as Calamity look to apply a little pressure in the jungle. Aeon will be able to take the mid. Rin, though, taking a whole bunch of damage. Rin potentially going down. Holds up for a Holy Nova. stops them in their tracks, and now I'm the Doom taking a bunch of damage. Aeon moving forward aggressively. Aeon showing he knows how to play this hero. And this hero's not so bad after all.
That was pretty crazy. It definitely could have gone the other way, but Calamity Reborn making it happen. This is a rough spot for Mousesports. I said that they needed to have a lead in the early game, not have a lead garnered against them. This is the opposite of what they needed, that's for sure. We've also got big item power spike coming through from Calamity Reborn. Sub 5 minute Sarblade from Leon. Rear End has now picked up the Fountain of Renewal. These are things that help you in the situations where Mouse normally would have the edge early on.
I do not enjoy playing against Barons who get Sorrow Blades under 5 minutes. That's just not fun. But if he jumps out with the jump jets and just slaps you twice, what are you gonna do? Apfel really not even wanting to put even a light armor up. I mean, he's not building anything at all, so he's just gonna get chunked through. He's building towards that tension bow. I'm the Doom with the on-point connects, but they turned it around. Great bulwark. I'm the Doom getting melted down. Fountain keeping him alive. Can they find the damage? Yes, they can. Baron coming through. Big attacks. 225 damage there. 210 damage onto the Black Feather. And Calamity Reborn just absolutely just putting Mouse under the hurt stick.
Yeah, that was brutal. Oh, they want more.
They're gonna go for more. Jackson, Justman melting low. Aeon dropping as low. It's actually Rin dropping the lowest. They get the Fountain. They get the heal. It's all calculated in the end. He's able to get out. Leon with jump jets forward. Apfel, big damage coming out. He will be able to stay alive, but he's just living on the edge. I'm the Doom trying to land an on point there, but it's not enough to scare Calamity too much. Absolute dominance.
Yeah, really, really strong stuff there. And you were talking about building defense. One thing that is important to remember, actually, is that you cannot really build defense effectively against the comp that Calamity Reborn has. There's a very diversified damage threat. You know, you've got a lot of crystal damage, even quite early, on the side of the Petal. And then Baron, you know, with this early Sarblade, is dealing pretty incredible amounts of weapon damage, too. So you don't have a good option. You just don't.
Well, you say, what would I rather lose to, a Petal or a Baron? Oh, I would lose to the Petal. It's okay. If you have to choose, pick your poison here. Mouse as 3, trying to hang out, make something happen, but Rioren, a very durable, tanky, wonderful frontliner in this Grace, and why we were surprised is still picked up. Jump jets forward, couple basic splashing! They just wow. Fell down, they're looking for more. Justman should go down. Look at that spontaneous combustion. Aeon takes some damage, but not enough to take him down. Trampoline forward, I'm the Doom goes down, double kill for Leon. And kind of what we were talking about in the draft really starting to just come to light here.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of work right now. 7-0 at 7 minutes. Calamity Reborn look, frankly, pretty unstoppable. I don't know what the correct answer is from Mouse right now. I think they've missed their window of opportunity to be maximum efficacy here.
Wow. So if you've missed your window of opportunity, I mean, I'd have to ask you as my colorcaster, do these guys have another window of opportunity that's going to come around at any point? Or, well,
I don't know. Like, I think Calamity Reborn would have to open the window for them.
Oh like, my goodness. Calamity, do you feel like being a pal and opening a window? Arcane Passage back. Leon, do you want to go? Do you want to play some games? Do you want to get real deep into enemy territory? It looks like Calamity Reborn, while in pole position, while having, you know, control of this game, still showing a little bit of patience there.
Calamity Reborn, how much patience do you need when you can do that, Leon?
Ion Cannon coming down, smoke him! Oh, he got the kill! Oh, it's so good! Ion Cannon kills coming through, double kill, 330 damage. How about a little crit off that Lucky Strike? And Calamity Reborn fans, raise your dongers in the chat. It is time. Leon has begun to crit. Leon has begun his path to be #1 in the Vainglory 8. Looking like it's going to be pretty hard to stop this team the way they're playing.
Yeah, draft was definitely a problem for this, though. Giving away all of the priority picks, basically, just seems like an overly risky plan to me. But sometimes you think you got a silver bullet answer, and you really don't. Let's see what happens, though. Mouse, at least they're getting some vision down. They definitely need to keep doing that, I would say. Keep getting more and more vision down.
I would say that is a solid analysis there. Justman going to do his best. And what's crazy to me, you have like an all-star in every position. I say Apfel, Just Man, I'm the Doom, for their positions, are some of the best out there in competitive Vainglory right now, and they are just across the board getting shut down. Surprisingly, Just Man having a very small impact on his picks here today, and on this Lyra really struggling. Like, it just makes me wonder, like, what can Just Man actually do as like a playmaker captain on this pick? They get the sigil to get I'm the Doom boosted out of there. Holy Nova not quite connecting. You see a nice jump. They jump right back forward. Here's the aggressive play from Mouse. They can't find the damage. Oh, divine intervention keeping Leon alive. I'm the Doom will be melted down. Aphel out towards the west side, and an ace coming through. 12-0. Calamity 10 minutes in.
Man, the damage is just too much for Leon right now. You saw I'm the Doom be on top of him, but it just didn't accomplish nearly enough. I think maybe Calamity fights one more time in the base here and then wins. Unless they get chunked like that. You gotta be careful.
But I mean, if you want to tank the turret, then that's a pretty good opportunity for Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, there is good poke damage on I'm the Doom, but so much sustain with the spontaneous combustion and the Grace ultimate. Getting pretty scary.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think, you know, Petal, a lot of times we think of this hero in a certain way. Spontaneous combustion, that's another healing tool for your team. So between the Grace, between that spontaneous combustion, I think a really good point you make. It's so easy to keep Leon alive, especially if Leon, a very aware player, is positioning himself where your minions are in a fight. It can be really hard to stop.
Absolutely. Goldmine going down again for Calamity Reborn. I'm not sure if they really need to wait for anything in particular to just keep the aggression coming here. I think, looking at their money, yeah, it's not a good window where they're going to get one more item upgrade. Mostly, I would just go in.
I would just go in.
I think that's the play.
I think secretly you just want to give Mouse a chance. Calamity, do not.
I don't know. I don't want to give Mouse a chance. I feel like Calamity don't need to play around anything right now. They're just that ahead.
It's true. They're pretty disgustingly far ahead. Jump jets forward. 2 attacks going to come out here. Very good damage. Reborn jumps forward here. Can they find the target with the arcane passage out? Ion cannon right in the perfect place. How did you know to put the ion cannon there? Leon, predictive play coming out. Jump jets forward. I'm the Doom getting melted down. Huge critical strikes. 444 damage. 523 damage coming out. Splashing onto 2. Leon thinking about killing them up at the healing platform there. He's going to think twice about that as they pull back as a group here. It's only 12 minutes in. A lot of times you think, maybe you just decide to go for Kraken or something. Pull back, take another objective. It's like, they can't take Goldmine. That's got to fill up. Crystal Sentry, that's been killed off the map. There's just not much to do.
There's nothing left. There's no solid thing for Calamity to do other than push, which is part of the reason why I think they should just do that. That being said, they can take their time and choke out the jungle resources and just go for a Kraken on spawn if they want to play it safe. Certainly not the end of the world if they do want to do that.
Look at Leon's items, dude.
It's just... I got nothing, Humanist. I'm trying. I got nothing.
Sweet dreams, Mousesports. It's more like a nightmare for them. Sweet dreams. Calamity, just really putting on a showing. What an amazing way to show up in your debut series. Questions on the table from everybody. They're like, okay, well, we've seen you guys here before. Let's see what you can do. You know, Mousesports. They were the super hot team. You know, we expected. Okay, probably Calamity Reborn do pretty good, but Mousesports, yeah, it seems like they should come out on top. No, none of that. Zero of that at all. Calamity just writing the story here.
I really did think that there was a substantial chance that Mousesports won this series prior to the series beginning.
Yeah.
So, shows you how wrong I was. Very wrong. Very, very wrong. Calamity Reborn, there is a surprise factor here to an extent, though, that you gotta take into some amount of consideration. Like, Mousesports might not have been quite as prepared for the pedal pick as maybe we were on the desk, because although you see them playing it, are they really going to play it when it matters? You know, that's a big question when it's not the Challenger Series and when they're in such a critical game. It can be hard to expect that.
I would say that in like a community-run guild tournament, but here, I don't know, my expectation's a little higher, especially for Mousesports being like tied in the top 3 for Europe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very fair point. Let's see, though. Let's see. Mousesports are in a bad position right now. They got flanked.
Yeah, they are in a real bad place. A lot of damage coming out onto Petal, but she does get the heal. This is the jump forward by Blackfeather, and I'm the Doom just blown up. Just Man can't do enough to keep his ally alive. And this should be Apfel going down. The triple kill for Leon comes through. Cherry on top of the cake. Leon, what was he, 11-0 game 1? 12-0-2 here in game 2. 16-0 in 14.5 minutes for Calamity Reborn. Not only that, my man, he had, at 12 minutes, he had 160 farm. He had 182 farm here to end the game at like 14.5 minutes in. With all of the kills, all of the fighting. Sometimes you see a hero who has a bunch of kills and you're like, okay, well, he doesn't have so much CS because he's been fighting and killing people. But he was fighting, killing people, and getting the CS.
I'm trying to think, have you ever seen a more dominant game of VG8? I think that might be the most dominant I've ever seen. Calamity Reborn is a team you just gotta watch, Humanist.
I have no more to say about it. I'm not even going to try to analyze it. We have guys much more qualified to do that. So let's go ahead and just give everybody a break from us.